the bulletin board heroes here at Zak's Traders Cafe for Thursday, the 21st of December. Starting off with the FTSE 100, where we're between the broken February resistance line there at 76.40 and potential target there for the end of the month, a May resistance line there up to 78.20, and hoping that that support line, or that old resistance line, will become new support even after today's pullback, backed by the fall in the Dow overnight. But below 76.40, not expect anything worse than the 200-day moving average at 75.60. Above 78.20, there's the chance of maybe early in the new year up to 80.60, although obviously at the moment that feels like it is a long way away, and we're really at the top of the range, the post-summer range for this market. Moving on to the DAX, and here you can see that we're still in consolidation mode after that massive rally from the 14,600 area at the end of October, hoping that the new support area will be the old July resistance zone, 16,500, and then we'll have an end-of-day close back above the May resistance line, 16,900, to take us up to 17,900 by the end of next month. We're probably now just a day away from a golden cross, the 50 and 200-day lines both touching at, or nearly touching at the moment. Moving on to the Dow, and this was the culprit for the decline after many days of rallies. I suppose we were as near as damn it to that resistance line there from March, 37,800, and then obviously a key reversal down. It's just now all about trying to work out where support will come in. The favored area was 36,500, but ideally we'll get away with that before the market then has another go at that old March resistance line target. Moving on to Bitcoin, and here the situation is that we've broken that near-term December resistance line there around 42,000, and above that looking for progress within a rising trend channel from October. Top of that channel heading for 50,000, and we're looking for that by the end of next month. On the downside, ideally we stay on the right side of 40,000. Worst case is that we have to go down to the 50-day line around 39,000, which would obviously tie in with the old November resistance for this market. Moving along to the stocks, and first one is Corcel. Here we're making progress within this wide rising trend channel from back in May. Top of the channel there heading for 0.8 pence, and we're looking for that especially while we're above recent initial December resistance at 0.48. 50 and 200-day lines now both rising, so that is a positive, especially after the golden cross we had back in September. A stock which I looked at, I think, once before, a Cavendish Financial. Here we've hit the initial target that we were looking for, 10.25 pence, above 10.25, looking for 12.5 pence, hopefully over the next 2 to 3 weeks. Just waiting for maybe the 200-day line to go flat or start rising, and that will probably add extra momentum to the turnaround there, which has been pretty impressive. Just couldn't resist taking a look at Helium One today after its 0.25 placing, and almost impossible to work out the trajectory here. RSI now at 15, which is obviously pretty low. It's probably the lowest it's been since that July dip that the shares had, that buy signal there for the one-day island reversal. Points to note here, probably the 0.4 pence level, which is that resistance line there from November. Ideally the shares try and break that, and then that's where the recovery would start. After that, then the target would be the bottom of the gap at around 0.7 pence, but at the moment we're catching a falling knife, even though we've got the 0.25 placing price level in progress at the moment. On to something which is slightly less fraught, Inspired Energy, and here it looks as though we've got a broadening triangle base, but the 50-day line broken there at 63 pence. Above that we're looking for 85 pence, perhaps as soon as the end of next month at the top of that post-September triangle. Bullish divergence coming into the latest dip for the shares, so that suggests there's going to be some decent momentum coming through. Another relatively obscure winning situation perhaps is Intelligent Ultrasound. Here we've broken that wedge in place since August, and the 50-day moving average at 9 pence. Ultimately we're looking for 14 pence, perhaps as soon as the end of next month, while we remain above that 9 pence level. Once again, there's been bullish divergence ahead of the turnaround, the bear trap rebound from below October support there at 8.5, and that should help the turnaround. Ideally, we stay above that 50-day line there. On to a stock which I have been covering quite a lot in the past, but it's back again now. Orosur Mining. Here we've had what I call a sideways shuffle above a rising 50-day moving average. We broke through that line and never touched it again, so that suggests considerable strength. We've got this extended bull flag, as I would call it, U-shaped bull flag, and especially while we're above 3.2 pence, and the November peak looking for 5 pence as soon as the end of next month. Pantheon came up with an update after quite some time, and here that was enough to give the shares yesterday a move to our target there at 26 pence, looking for an end of day close above 26 pence to give us up to 32 pence by the end of next month, but ideally we stay above that blue 50-day moving average at 23.25 pence in the meantime. Otherwise, it may be that the rally is getting tired. Range trade with Panthera at the moment. Here we've got this wide rising trend channel. We bounced off the floor of that late March, early April channel at around 5 pence or just below 5 pence. And above that level, looking for at least 7 pence, hopefully by the end of this month. Ultimately up to 11 pence, ideally by the end of next month. Finishing off with the stock of the day yesterday, which is Wildcat. We were looking for 0.32, and I think the high yesterday 0.31, break of that 0.31 level and that red resistance line there from October should give us a fresh leg up towards 0.44 and the 200-day moving average, as well as being that September resistance line projection. In terms of what we'd like to see the shares remain above, it would be 0.21, which is that neckline resistance from the middle of the month, or the early part of this month. That's it from me today. More updates on the weekend.